Wow, El Capitan, Half Dome, Bridlesville Falls, Yosemite Valley. Well, Dad, it's pretty spectacular. How many times have you been at this corner?
56.
A dozen more than that, I'm sure. Over the years, we've been to this spot
a lot of times.
many times. Wow.
Dean and I and Dwayne have stood on that snow patch on top of Half Dome. One day we hiked from the valley up to the top and back. It was the hardest hike I've ever done, 18 miles. I believe it's 5,000 feet elevation gain. But it's a memorable day.
And it's amazing how big it is up there. When I did it,
It's like
you can play baseball up on the top there.
You really can.
It's a huge top, and it dips in the middle there.
We came here 56 years ago in August, in the summer. Two people that loved each other, didn't have a thing except a dog, and everything we owned was in one little car, and we had a tent. And it was our first visit to Yosemite, and we camped where the backpackers camp now. And a 9-foot by 9-foot tent with the stake in the middle that held it.
Canvas tent, right?
And the Yosemite Lodge was brand new then. And so after we got tired of hiking, we came in and played rook in Yosemite Lodge lounge, where you could look and see the falls coming down. And it was just spectacular. And one night we came home, it was after dark, and Skippy was in the back of our tent just shaking like anything. I wondered, what's wrong with her? Then I noticed some pans tipped over, and cans that we hadn't emptied licked out. And so a bear had obviously visited our camp and just scared our little dog to death.
Wow. 56 years ago, Mom, your honeymoon in this very spot. 56 years later.
On our way out, they were building the road from Crane Flats up to Tenaya Pass. And so there was an old dirt road, single lane. If you met anybody, one of you had to back up until you found a spot where the two could go by. And I remember they had Caterpillar tractors up there building it. But anyway, we camped at Tenaya Lake for several nights, and we met a guy and his friend who was a student at a Baptist seminary. And so we decided to hike up the almost sheer granite wall that comes right down to the lake, probably 1,000 feet up.
Yeah.
No trail, just scrambled the rocks, very much like back here. But there was no trees either. It was just pretty much sheer granite. And I'd stuffed some things in my pocket to eat, and we got up there, and it was a beautiful little lake. And I had a can of Spam and some Ritz crackers. And one of the guys walked around the lake and he found an old frying pan that somebody had left. I had some matches. So we fried up that Spam and put it between those Ritz crackers. And that was absolutely the best lunch we ever had in the world. And coming down, we couldn't come down where we scramble up. You can go up, but coming down is a different story. So we just followed the stream from the lake, down, and finally it joined up with a trail, and we walked around, and about when the sun was setting, we got back to our tent. You know, that was all just cross country. We had no maps, of course no GPS.
No cell phones.
You know, and we didn't have a sleeping bag or anything. We got caught out, you know. We did have some matches, so we could have built a fire, but that was it. And this was a great time. We spent altogether a week up here in the High Sierras.
And if I remember right, he had a little black, like a World War II car, it looked like. Pulling that, you have pictures of it, pulling a kayak or something?
No, I had it on top.
A canoe,
kayak.
yeah.
A kayak that I built on top. And we had been to Hume Lake in Kings Canyon National Park before we came here, and the lake was about a mile across, and I remember swimming across that lake.
Wow.
Well, your mother paddled a kayak next
Oh.
to me. So
That had to have been a sight. I wish we would have seen that,
if
Mom.
I had a problem.
You paddling a kayak across the lake.
Hume Lake.
Yep.
Lake, yeah.
So, Dad, why Yosemite? What was it about here that
You know, we had planned to
your
go to
honeymoon?
Yosemite.
Really?
We had planned to
Originally,
go
we
to
were going to
Hume
Tahoe.
Lake
Because you were married in Glendora.
Yeah. and-
February.
Well, we were married February the 8th in Glendora.
Right.
1957.
But she was in school and I had to work.
Oh, that's
So-
right.
School too.
Well, yeah.
So you didn't take a honeymoon right away.
No. We took it in August, and the reason we took it in August, I
We were
had
on
to
our way
work
to seminary.
Oh, okay.
June and July to try to save some money up to go to seminary.
All right.
And so we took a slow trip from Southern California to Kansas City, spending
August
two
of
weeks,
57.
2 weeks up here. We planned to spend the whole 2 weeks in Hume Lake, but these folks told us, "Oh man,
We're going
you ought
on
to
to
go."
Yosemite.
Yeah, he says you ought to go to Yosemite.
Oh,
and
nice.
They were coming up here.
But I had been to Yosemite a couple times as a child.
Yeah.
Junior high age.
Yeah, but I never been. Anyway, once we came here, oh man, we fell in love with it.
Oh, okay.
And,
So that's how it started.
That's
That's
how
how
it
it started.
August.
Friends
See,
we met at Hume Lake.
I don't know
All
if
them.
I've ever heard
Oh,
that you were.
yeah.
It was August, not right after the wedding.
Yeah.
It
no,
was there was
August.
Okay.
a young couple. They were married, just boyfriend
Teenagers.
girlfriend, teenagers, like 17 or 18. We met at Hume Lake. We witnessed to them. They went back down to L.A. and joined a Presbyterian church, and that kid eventually became a minister.
Oh my gosh.
San Fernando Valley.
I don't remember
from
how
Van Nuys area.
all that happened,
Sherman
but
Oaks.
the spark was struck at Hume Lake.
That's great. You wonder.
They liked our kayak, so that was
Okay.
that was a talking.
You wonder where they are these days. Okay, now, Mom, we have a picture in somebody's album of your new husband
Sitting on a rock, reading a book and fishing at the same time.
with black dress shoes and shorts and no shirt. I mean, what kind of dress code were you agreeing to when you married him?
It's called poor.
That's called nerd.
Nerd.
I mean, black socks. If I remember right, this picture is in my mind of you just
there's black.
stretched out.
No, he's sitting there, he's reading the book, he's got a fishing
Okay.
pole, and he's sitting on a great big rock in this river.
Now,
This river
Represent
over
river.
on the
okay,
side of it.
since I just found out, I don't remember you telling me this ever before, that the honeymoon was August, not February.
Right.
So who's good at math here?
Oh.
You know where I'm going.
You can edit it out because that's not true. We were married in February.
No. I know that, but you had your honeymoon in August, and
Yeah.
along in how many months? You're going there.
You were born
July.
in July.
So-
it
The
wasn't
following
quite.
year.
It wasn't. No, you're
No.
a Kansas,
13
8,
months.
58.
Kansas City baby.
We were married in 57.
I know. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Oh, April. I missed. Well, I'm close. I'm getting
Math
close.
is bad, honey. Your math is bad.
I'm getting close. This will be the start of the Coles Chronicle, and Deanna and Dwayne and Debbie can add their math to the. Well, there's beautiful Yosemite Falls. We're on the shuttle bus, going around. So, Mom, what was it like shopping for clothes when you were in seminary?
Well, the only time I didn't really ever shop for clothes in seminary, but I was in desperate need for maternity clothes when we were in seminary.
With your first or your
With
second?
our first child, as the story continues, we got a lot of different colored pastel sheets for wedding gifts.
Okay.
And so yellow and pink and lime green, and some of them were solid colors, some of them were striped. So I just got those out, got myself a pattern, and made myself some maternity clothes so I could be seen outside of the house in something other than my bathrobe. And that's how I got my first maternity clothes. We happened to be the pastor, but we were as poor as the church mice.
So, your first experience in the Ahwahnee, since we're sitting here on the deck,
Our first experience in the Wani, let's see, it's a lot different than it is now. A lot different.
In what ways?
You didn't have, well, for one thing, you didn't have assigned spaces. So since there were so many of us, my mom strung up blankets from tree to tree to tree to make a little courtyard here, and we slept
Your own private.
We slept inside on cots or on the ground. I can't remember that part.
She scoped out a place.
Yeah, she scoped out a place for all of us, and Jack and Carol were with us.
I think I know a mother like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
Oh, I think you sort of did stuff like that.
When we first started coming to Yosemite, though, with you kids, there were not assigned camping spots. So you just set up your camp in a place where you thought you tried to.
I remember how packed it was with cars
you tried
everywhere.
to put some bound, you just camped any place, and you tried to make a boundary by placing your different things. So stake out your spot, you know. Well, the first time I remember coming to the Ahwahnee is with you kids. We went on this hike up to that abandoned mine.
We went there almost every year, it seems like. We had a good time doing that.
And up towards it.
Didn't Uncle Tony took us there, I think, the first time?
No, that was Bodie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was another ghost town.
But I love that mine.
But we did take Tony and Joyce up there, and we took all of our family up there.
Yep.
We've made many, many trips up there, but the first time we went, we came here to the Ahwahnee and met with a tour guide, really nice guy. And I don't think it was Ansel Adams going on a photography, but he sort of looked like him. Really nice guy. Anyway, we met here at the Ahwahnee, got, organized and everything, and then we took our cars up there to that.
I remember,
that spot. Got out of our cars and took this hike to this, and he'd stop and tell us about wildflowers. He'd take off his hat and show us how to place it so the shadows would be just right to get the right look with the sun and to shield out the sun and
for the pictures and stuff. Yeah.
So that was really fun hike.
That was a good hike.
And you kids probably were in. We probably were in L.A. First Church.
Yeah, it'd have been about
you probably
third,
were
fourth, fifth grade.
Fifth, fourth,
like
and second grade. Our routine was we ate breakfast, then we went out and did our dirty hiking and sweaty stuff.
Right.
Biking, whatever.
Swimming at the pool.
We'd come back. We'd come
go to
back,
the lodge pool.
Have our lunch, and then we'd go to the pool and swim all afternoon.
Oh, I know. Great days.
Nice and clean. Then we would go to the Ranger eat at the restaurant there at the lodge.
Chili, what'd you call that? The chili hamburger hot dog thing.
Yeah, and then after that, then we go to the Ranger thing
program
right there in the program right there at the lodge.
And listen to the guy play his guitar, the wild
that
Mariah, the Mariah wind, that guy.
And then we would go and everybody go to the bathroom there and we'd come home and we'd get in bed.
Yep. Now, the other thing...
Occasionally we'd have a fire.
The other thing I remember when we were camping other places, hobo dinners. What's a hobo dinner?
Well, hobo dinner is when you have all kinds of vegetables, any kind of vegetable you want. You put it in one pot, and then you make either meatballs or meat patties, and you put it in on top of the vegetables, and you put it in a cast iron casserole.
Yep.
You put it on the Coleman stove, turn it down real low, and let it cook for hours.
Yep.
And you have a wonderful hobo dinner.
I still remember those. Those are great. And
but
potatoes.
The dinner we had the most popular, and that's when those guys joined us. We had that. We had noodles with Denny Moore stew.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. It's a beautiful afternoon here at the Ahwahnee Hotel in Yosemite National Park behind me. And Mom and I have just had a nice, lovely afternoon listening to some orchestra music. Once a year, that orchestra is here. Mariposa Symphony Orchestra. The smallest town with a symphony orchestra. So it's just been gorgeous. And look at this dogwood behind us and beautiful meadow. So, wow. So we are here at the Ahwahnee Hotel, and we're celebrating Dad's 78th birthday. Congratulations, Father Coles. How do you feel to be 78?
Good to be here.
Very good to be here. You looking good?
Reflecting over 56 years ago we first ate here in
Man.
Yosemite.
Yep.
And it's been lots of memories, lots of good memories.
Very, very good. This is one of our hangouts here when we come to Yosemite. And just had a great breakfast. And now we're going to go work it off. Well, guys, that was another great breakfast here at the Ahwahnee Hotel, huh?